Hi, this is Rose Fresh Fausto, also known as FQ Mom. Welcome back to FQ Mom channel, your place to be if you want to be financially happy. Today, we are very happy to have a special guest, the Editor-in-Chief of Modern Parenting PH, Marga Tupaz.
Hi! How are you guys?
Hi, Marga.
Hi,
you know,
Rose.
it's nice.
I know.
We've known each other for quite some time.
Since 2020,
yes,
I think.
but this is our first face-to-face.
Right. We've had a Zoom talk together. We always text. You've written for the magazine, for the website.
That's
and
right.
We just did a YouTube taping recently, and now we're back.
Yes, at chikahan lang tayo dito.
Sure. Don't ask me anything financial, please.
Yes, I will. Actually, personal finance. Pwede.
Kasi so wala akong i-share na expertise.
and you may be able to relate with her. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes it's better nga to
experience.
Learn. Yes.
Yeah.
So please, but tell us first, how did you get into this business of being the editor-in-chief of a magazine?
Oh, wow. This is actually an interesting story. So in 2016, I joined One Mega Group. I was hired by Sari Yap, our founder who has passed on in 2019. And we didn't actually meet for work. I met her through common friends.
Yeah.
And I found out that she was also an energy healer.
So you tell them about that. So what is an energy healer?
So an energy healer is someone who, it's actually based off of spirituality. It's non-traditional medicine. It's actually like if you're familiar with Reiki healing, Theta healing, crystal healing, sound healing, it's all of that relates to your spirituality. So they say that it's actually healing from the inside out. So I met her because of common friends that had mentioned that she does energy healing, ganyan. And of course, I also knew her to be with Mega Magazine at the time. So, but the whole reason why I met her was something totally different. We met one day, and the next thing I know, I was already being interviewed for a job at her company. And I joined shortly after that meeting.
What year was this? 2016, yes.
So I did various roles with the company. I've been with them for 8 years. And it really started out as I was editor-in-chief of Celebrity Mom. And then in the pandemic, in 2020, we said, you know what? Celebrity Mom, the whole connotation of it sounds a little tone deaf. It wasn't applicable to the times because we were in quarantine, if you all remember those days. So I went ahead and with the blessing of our CEO and president at the time, I was able to brainstorm something new for parents. Still in the arena of parenting,
more
inclusive, more apt for the time we were living in 2020. So Modern Parenting was born in the dead height of the pandemic talaga. Like I remember we were in ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, that whole
QQ.
Yeah, the QQs. So kung may FQ.
That's right.
May ECQ, may, diba? So so we did that, and it's been an amazing ride. Like I knew I was onto something when I said we have to include dads in the conversation.
Right.
Parenting figures, not just the typical mom and dad, step parents, adoptive parents, pet parents.
And recently I read both male.
Yes. So, you know, parents from the LGBTQIA plus community, even yayas who also act as our parents. I know that from our generation, a lot of us grew up with nannies, right? Teachers are also parents. Yeah, they're parenting figures also. So, so 5 years later, here we are. And Rose has actually been a part of the modern parenting community since the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, That's right, because it was during the pandemic.
Yeah, we were
right?
doing our My Real Talk pa at the time.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Oh, it's nice to
So
know
that's
that.
how I got into the industry, and that's how I got here. And I think with that also, people are probably wondering, but why are you the editor of a parenting magazine? It's also because I have 6 kids.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
She is
6
so
kids.
well versed in being a parent because that's going to be my next question.
Okay.
6 children.
Yes.
Tell us how it happened.
Tell us how it happened. Oh my,
I'm
are you
kidding.
sure?
No, I'm kidding. But tell us about having 6 children. It's so even, no? 3 males,
3 boys, 3
females.
girls.
Yes,
So
yes. You were in the US.
I was
You
in
got
the US.
married
So
there.
my eldest son is now 24. He was born in the year 2000. My youngest was born in 2009. So that whole decade, I did nothing but have kids. And we were in the States.
A decade of procreation.
Yes. 6 was not the plan. I don't like to say this, like saying na the 2 were the
Yes,
last
I
2
know,
were.
I
No,
know.
I would hate for them to think that. But diba, you kind of know what you want. So my husband always said he wanted 4 kids. And we had the 2 boys and the 2 girls. So at the time we thought perfect na.
We
But
were done, akala, no?
you know, really, this is when the universe and God has other plans for you. After we had the 4, we were blessed with another boy and another girl, making it 3 and 3.
Yes.
And now, all of us, even my older kids, will say, imagine our family without these 2. It's not. It's
Right.
weird. It's not complete because everyone brings their own thing to the table. So fast forward to today, they are now ages from the oldest 24, 22, 20, 19, 18, and 16.
And you know what they say? I think you are already reaping the rewards of that. It's always happier daw if you have more children when they're grown up na.
Yes.
Parang you're
Oh my gosh,
enjoying their
yes.
company already.
While there are times I get senti and sad
Yes.
about, I look back at their baby pictures
Yeah.
or kiddie pictures, the first thing I'm overwhelmed with is regret. Sometimes because did I enjoy them? I wish I knew what I know now, so I did it back then. But you know what? It is what it is. Like everything
Yes.
happens in its own time
And
and
you
for
just
its
did
own
what
reason.
the best that you
Yeah.
could, that you knew.
But now that you're right, I said this to someone recently, you know, I love the age
They're in now.
they're in. Since the youngest one became maybe like a teenager, and then whatever age the oldest one was. Because while they're in a way independent, they still need you. So you kind of have the best of both worlds
Yes.
now. Because the next stage I'm gonna be facing will be when they're leaving the nest. So
Correct.
I don't want to talk about that. Basta I'm gonna cry. But I have 2 kids who are already working. They're done with college.
But they're still with you.
Yes. And then I have 2 that are still in college, 2 that are in high school. So the other one in high school will be graduating in a couple of months. So he'll be joining the college crowd. And then I'll have 1 left in high school come June of this year.
Your
So
youngest is a 16-year-old.
yeah, so it's more masaya. It's always been masaya, actually. Even with problems, worries, uncertainties, I would always turn to them and just not tell them the problems, of course, but just get a hug.
Yeah.
Or, you know, spend a few minutes with each kid, and then I'm kind of okay na. Then I can face the issues again. So I think that's what I've been so lucky to have. And when it comes down to it, when they say count your blessings, that's my blessings.
Yeah. So, have you always been a working mother?
I started working. I was just telling you earlier that I was
19.
since I was 19. I was working while going to college in the States. You know naman in the US, it's very different. People there start working when they're 16. I was actually kind of late lang nga eh. That my first
bloomer
job
ka
was,
pa.
I was 19. But I moved there from here when I was 19. So I started earning money early and adulted early. So when I got pregnant, got married, and all, it wasn't hard for me to adjust and do the transition because I was already
were
kind of
sorta
sorta independent na eh. Now that I look back, I think of that because oh my gosh, that was what 30 years ago or hindi naman,
Yes.
almost. Yeah. I remember, of course, those times would I have done things a little bit differently? Maybe yes and no, because I always believe that sometimes parang we wouldn't be who we are now if we had
Without those,
changed
yeah.
the butterfly effect,
Yes,
you see, right?
yes.
So yeah, so started working at 19, and then
Tuloy-tuloy na.
I quit working when my third baby was born.
So
Because
how was the balancing act as a mom, wife?
So yeah, with the
working?
first and second, I was working. When the third one was born, I had to quit my job because of childcare. Kasi wala na. It was hard to
Yes,
leave
juggle
three
three.
kids with like my mom or my sister or whoever. It was already too much. Yung one or two, it's still
Kaya
doable.
pa.
Yeah. When you get to 3, wala na. So I think when I had baby number 3 in 2004, baby number 4 in 2005, and baby number 5 in 2006. So it's yun na, 04, 05, 06. I had to stop working.
No time to lose.
I had to really focus on the kids. And I think, again, it was a blessing. I look back on those years, and I'm so glad that I stayed home with them then. Because that was when they needed me. Imagine I was trying to form people who were all, oh my gosh, under 6, 7
That's
years
right,
old.
that's right.
So, yeah,
had
and
to
then
be
we
tutok.
moved here to the Philippines right before my youngest was born. And of course, we had the privilege of having helpers.
That's right.
So when she was born, I stayed home a bit more just to help them all adjust, and then I went back to work. So 2010, I think I entered the workforce here until now. It's 2025, so 15 years in the
already.
Philippines.
Yeah.
And then in the States, I want to say maybe about 5 years of working there. So 20 years of my life.
Yeah. So we always ask this question to all our guests, and I hope you can also share with us a childhood money memory.
A childhood money, wow, good or bad? Any. Okay.
Any.
I remember as a kid, well, first of all, we weren't really privy to a lot of the conversations that took place when it came to money. It was always, I would always hear it.
Yeah.
So maybe I wasn't supposed to hear a lot of the things that I heard, like wherever it came from. Like not necessarily my parents lang,
Yes,
but in general.
Yeah.
Because diba, you get exposed to relatives, to
Yes.
hearing teachers.
Yes.
So I was always under the impression that you had to work hard to make money, or that money was
Hard
to
to-
make, so you have to work hard. Kasi kung hindi ka naghihirap, if you're not if you're not working hard and putting it all in, you won't
Earn.
Yes. And of course, now that I'm a grown-up, those of you who practice the abundance mindset, people who do shadow work or past life regressions, that's a no-no, because the mantra is supposed to be, money is easy to make, money wants to
Abundance
stay with
instead
me.
of scarcity mentality.
Right. So, and I'm also thinking of maybe the time that it happened, that was in the 80s. So, people were, maybe the people, and also your nannies, you also hear them, diba?
Of course.
And that becomes a part of your imprint as a child. When you look back on the conversations you heard as a kid, dialogues about money.
Yeah.
It's everything you hear.
Yes.
Filtered or not, Tagalog or English,
Yes.
whatever it may be. So that was mine, was that in order to make money, you had to work hard. So if you don't work hard, you have no money. But we know now that that's not necessarily true. Yes, we all have to
Work.
put in effort, but I also now know better that our thoughts create our reality also. So if your thought is so negative, you end up attracting that into your life. But if you, at the same time, have a very positive outlook on money and you have an abundance mindset, your movements become attuned to
Yes.
what you believe in, and what you attract, who you surround yourself with.
So it becomes easier.
Right.
Than compared to how it was the
Yeah.
impression on you na, ay, kailangan maghirap ka na.
So my husband and I have 6 kids. Of course, we work hard. Is it always easy? No. But
Doesn't
the
have
work,
to be melodramatic.
yes. It can just be steady. You just have to maybe find the right projects,
Yes.
find the right people to work with, put your time in the right things, and it shouldn't be so difficult. Hindi naman kailangan you sacrifice so much, or
Yeah.
you're dying just to earn. That's something that I've wanted, that I always try to undo with my kids, that kind of thinking, and I'm hoping naman it's working.
It looks like.
Yes,
because they're
I
more
hope so.
They're very. You mentioned a while ago they're quite comfortable with.
They know, I mean,
investing.
they know how to research, they know how to
Yeah.
allocate their time, their resources. So I'm glad that they're doing it very differently than the way I was at their age.
Yeah. So you've encountered a lot of celebrity parents.
Yes.
What do you see is like the general observation? What brings them joy? And then later on, the challenges.
Wow. I mean, parents in general, the ones I've encountered,
Yes.
the moment they talk about their kids, even you with your they automatically light up.
Ganun
Yes,
na,
like
yeah.
there's they glow. There's a glimmer in their eye. There's always pride in the way they talk about it. Sometimes emotional. Even me, I'll cry talking about my kids. Sometimes I don't even know it's a babaw topic, but I'm crying kasi it's. I think the awareness also of parenting now, because I think, Rose, like while my kids are not as grown as yours, I still like to think that at some point the way you were parenting and the way I was kind of crossed over, maybe
Yeah.
with your youngest and my eldest.
Yes.
And then
20s.
with like all the young moms, I'm still able to relate. So I'm that middle ground right now. And that's one thing that I see, is that when the topic is their children, it changes. It becomes lighter, happier.
It's like the most
Masarap
important
kausapin.
thing. ano?
Yeah. And even me, like, I'm sure if you give any of us a platform to talk about our kids, we can talk about them all day long. An hour would not nearly be enough for each child, ha?
Oo, and you're having.
I would need like a 6-hour show or something, right? So, iba pa and then of course there's the challenges, and that's what mainly a lot of my friends call on me for, because Margs, my kids have like I found out they have a crush, or their relationship, or I found out they were lying about something. So that's when I come in. I'm always like the one to advise. So I think because I have so much experience already, again, 6 kids ages 24 to 16, I've had my fair share of all kinds of things, and in different perspectives, because the kids are not all the same.
Yeah.
So what works for one, even as simple as communication, it's not the same.
Correct.
As simple as reprimanding,
Yes.
one requires a more stern approach, while one needs to be, after you get mad, there has to be an explanation process.
Yes.
Because you have to make them understand. There has to be, after you get mad, you have to make lambing and explain. So while there are some where I just have to apologize, because I know especially if I know I was out of line in the manner of correction. Some naman we cry together. It's different.
Yeah.
So
it's always unique, ano?
And
even if they live in the same house, eat the same.
and
food.
they have the same exact they have the same exact
set
everything,
of-
because same
yeah.
mom, same dad.
Yes,
So
yes.
but they're very different, and even with the way they deal with each other now, I see it. So when I talk to one child, they're gonna agree with me that so and so and so and so and so and so you deal with them this way. And then I talk to another kid, sabihin niya, you deal with a certain way. So at least there's a kind of a pattern already.
Yeah.
And they change. The thing is, these kids, they change over time. They change based on how they develop, what they experience in the environment.
So
what
are you
they
saying
experience
it's
for
more or less the
themselves.
same whether you're a celebrity parent or
Oh yeah. I think
non-celebrity
that's the
parent?
one common denominator that you will have, and the biggest celebrity there is, even in another country, is the fact that when the moment you become a parent, that's it. We're all in one community, and we experience and face the same things. When we started a series in modern parenting called Couch Talk, we had put 5 of the biggest celebrities together after
who
a
were
cover
this?
shoot. It was Isa Calzado, Jody Santamaria, Dimples Romana, Ian Veneracion, and of course Dennis Trillo. And when they were talking, it didn't look like they were celebrity. There were no celebrity questions. There was nothing about how do you deal with this role? How do you deal? Walang ganyan. It was all about parenting.
Yeah.
And what the comments of the people there were like, wow, they're just like us. They worry about the same things we do. They go through the same things we do. So it's so nice to know that there's that common ground. And that's what I love about the parenting community, is that it doesn't matter who you are. I can be an editor-in-chief. You can be like Rose, that's a finance expert, a former banker. Am I right? Yeah.
Banker.
And then there could be like a celebrity or a model or a beauty queen or a vlogger or content creator, right? But the moment, we can all have different experiences in life. But when you say parenting, oh my God, we can be like, anong ginawa mo? How did you do this?
Pareho na,
What worked for you? I'm gonna try that. Or, oh my God, I can relate to that. And that's what I think brings us together. And that's what I love.
But do you see the greater challenge now being too much exposure to social media?
Oh, yeah.
Because I find myself saying, oh, good thing that when my boys were very young,
Wala. Yeah.
I didn't have to say no Facebook until age like this. So how is it now?
So
and
me,
any tips on the parents now whose kids are bombarded?
I don't know if I'm the one to give the tips, because as a modern parent, just kidding, I never gave my kids rules about social media. I was that parent who allowed them to have Facebook but monitored by me.
And I remember they also had to open because some homework
is done through Facebook
the
Messenger.
Yes.
So I was very lenient with that. So I think the moment they hit school and they wanted an account, I would just say, go ahead, I'll open for them, or I'll say, you open for your brother or your sister, whoever was the older sibling at the time. So I was not strict with social media. Number 2, with gadgets, I also wasn't strict. You have to remember, guys, cut me some slack. I have 6 kids. So if I wanted them to be quiet on a road trip,
you were buying peace.
Para hindi ako kulitin. Are we there yet? Or in the airport, so that they're not nagging. We're in the boarding area waiting, and they all had a gadget. Please give me na to sa akin. But what happened was, it also heightened my awareness of what they were seeing and getting exposed to. And they would let me know. They would share with me, Mom, I saw this. Or someone will make sumbong. So-and-so's watch this, and they showed it to us. So I would nip in the bud right away by explaining, okay, look, you might see more of that the more exposed you are, but I want you to know it's not real, or this is just they're just acting or whatever. Because nga I raised them in such a way that it wasn't so strict, because I also knew that if I became strict, ako din yung mahihirapan.
They might end up
trying
lying.
to control or doing it behind their backs. I know of kids who bawal to watch this, bawal to do this, but they access their yaya's phone, their classmates' phone, the computer in whoever's house, and everything you don't want them to see, the more they're gonna be curious to see. So I feel like now that stage of their life is over and I've crossed that bridge, and they're now adults, and 5 adults and 1 pre-adult, almost adult. Safe na ako. Like they already know everything there is to know, and I think I've taught them responsible usage of social media, what they can share. In fact, they're very they're not. Ako pa yung mas ma-post.
Talaga?
Mom, stop posting that. They're not. And then they're very matipid also to post on their accounts. I mean, I know of their dump accounts. I don't necessarily follow it, or I'm not allowed to. But I know it exists, and I know that if I asked to see it, they would let me. Yeah.
Because of a close relationship that you were able to nurture with
them. And then they know, like, if you put this is what's gonna happen, and they see it also happening to their peers, and they're yung mga kasing age nila na, oh my God, this happened to this person. So there are lessons that they learn through other means, not necessarily themselves.
So both of us we shared that we had really great experience when it comes to being parents, no? So I don't know if you're aware now of the growing lifestyle choice of being a dink or a sink. Are you aware of that? Dual income, no kids, and
then single income, no kids. I've heard of it on TikTok, actually. So yeah, I'm familiar with the concept. And my kids are dinks.
right now. Okay. Sinks right now.
Sink, sorry.
So when you discuss it with them, did they give you like reasons why I'd rather not have children?
Some of them, so right now, my two kids who are already working.
Yeah. Age 24,
24 and 20, they want to have kids. Like, we've had conversations. There are some who don't want.
Yes.
But I know they can change their mind,
Yes.
right? Or there are some who, I'm not sure. I don't care either way.
Yeah.
But that can change, right?
Yes,
They can
yes.
say, oh my God, I really want a kid. Or, oh my God, ayoko pala ng kids. So, and I'm okay. I'm not...
Forcing.
Even with the courses they choose to take in college, I don't tell them
Okay.
what to do. I mean, I will hint at, sana may mag-doctor, sana may
Panudge
ganyan.
ng konti.
But if they don't want, wala. Kung gusto mag-shift, they can
Correct.
shift. My only condition is that they graduate
Yeah.
and not take too long with it. So,
Yeah.
thank God everyone's on track. And, you know, even with their life decisions, like my two eldest kids who are done with college, they have multiple streams of income.
That's great.
And I let them because I tried to raise all of them to think that anything is possible. You want to have 10 jobs, do it. As long as you can deliver to all 10.
Yes.
And you're not compromising one for
The
the other,
quality,
right?
yeah.
So parang, but I want them to embrace the whole I can have it all concept, because sooner or later, they're gonna learn to prioritize.
Yeah.
But I want them to experience kasi everything eh.
You don't want to dictate on them. You want them
Right.
to find out
And
for
before,
themselves.
kasi pag sa time, remember our time, you're gonna do all that, you're gonna spread yourself so thin. It's so negative right away. Are you sure? Di ka mapapagod? So parang you're already planting. But I remember what they said. You know how when we were kids, we were just so free to do whatever, and we didn't think of, if I play an imaginary game now, and I'm a princess, and ganyan, it's your imagination, but imagine the only reason why kids stop playing that game is not because they grew up, it's because they learned about reality. And in reality, wala namang princess eh. You can't naman be a princess and have this and that. So we diba, our possibilities when we were younger started out this big.
To narrow down.
And then the older we get, because of it's this small. So what I'm trying to do now is, whatever my kids, I'm sure liliit yan, but I want to bring it back to big.
Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna narrow because of
And
things
you
they
want
see.
them to be the ones to narrow it down for
Right,
themselves.
and their own decisions, because
Yeah.
I don't want them to one day resent me or their dad
Did allow
for,
me kasi ganyan. No.
because mom discouraged me, she
Yeah,
scared
yeah.
me, or she didn't allow me. So I always ask them, why are you choosing to do this? Because of this. Okay, then I support you, but you be careful, ha? Because if this happens, you're gonna have to take a step back and think about it. Yeah, mom, I know.
Yes.
And then they do. They'll talk to me when they're in a bind, and they'll say, "Mom, this is happening. What should I do?"
Yeah.
So then, and they're also part of the problem-solving process. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna solve it.
Correct.
I'm gonna make phone calls. I'm gonna fix it. It's more of, what do you think we should
Yes.
do? What do you
just
want
help
to do?
them process it.
Yeah.
To find out the solutions.
Right.
Thank you very much for sharing. We're going to end this with a fast talk.
Okay.
But unlike the Boy Abunda style, I can allow you to explain if you think there's a
Okay.
need to. But of course,
Nakaka-nervyos.
say the first thing that comes to
Okay.
your mind. All right? I will start with easy ones to
Okay.
get you started. Morning or evening person?
Evening.
Dog or cat?
Dog. I have 3.
Oh, coffee or tea?
I used to be a coffee person, but in the last, since June of last year, I've been taking a yerba mate tea, which has given me amazing energy. So coffee now is just a fun drink for me, no longer a necessity to stay awake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge as a mom? Of 6.
Oh my gosh. Biggest challenge as a mom is letting go.
Biggest challenge for you as a wife?
As a wife, letting go. Just kidding. No. Biggest challenge as a wife, my gosh. It's been 25 years of marriage for me and my
Silver.
husband. Yeah, so a lot of the things that I couldn't stand that he does, like, for example, he loves to leave his clothes on the floor. Now I'm just like, when I see it, I pick it up. Before, I would give him a lecture. We would fight about it. Ngayon, I see it, put it away. Hindi na siya issue. But my challenges now with my husband is maybe, because he also is, we're in our late 40s, so he wants to do things his way, I want to do things my way. What we are, I think we're both experiencing it now, is that I'm perimenopausal, and I believe men
andropause
also go through it. So I think for us, it's finding that common ground where we can we talk about it, but it's more of talagang addressing it. Because I think it's the elephant in the room for us right now. Like, okay, look, I'm cranky right now kasi we just retreat to our own corners and not interact, but that's bad. I know that. I think we should come together and say, okay, I'm going
at the right
this.
time.
Yeah.
So when you up the level of your love time.
My God, I realize I'm answering these questions. I've really gotten older because the answers are so different.
Yeah, from before.
Yeah.
Next, most remarkable lesson you learned from a celebrity parent you interviewed.
Okay, so this, can I name the celebrities?
Sure,
okay,
please.
so my last print cover was with Janela Salvador and Elise Hoson, and as you all know, they are both moms with 4-year-olds. They became moms at the peak of their career. Both of them are not married, and I really asked them hard questions for their video interview. Not only, I was so surprised that they were not only willing to answer, they were glad that the questions were hard and very relevant.
Yes.
So what I learned from Janela and Elise, like, I was so impressed with them because the way they were answering, even I was like learning and taking notes. And these two moms, they have their heads screwed on so straight and so right that not only do everything they do, of course, revolves around their kids. It's the same as you and I. I don't think it matters the age. But with them, they're so confident. They don't let outside noise get in the way. Not like with me. Oh my gosh, I became a mom at 22, and anything and everything that pintas I would hear
would affect you.
It would. I would say it doesn't. It doesn't affect me. I don't care what they say. Of course, I care. And I cared for years, and it became insecurities. But with them, you can totally tell. People people online will say things to them. People they know, but you can tell they know. Like, I have a special bond with my child. Only she and I, for Elise, and only he and I, for Janela, have this understanding. So as long as I can see my child is happy, thriving, I'm gonna keep doing me. And I wish, oh gosh, that at that age, that I had that kind of
confidence,
assurance, and yung just the knowing that, hey, I'm doing my best, and my best is enough. Because I didn't know that until later on in my life, that this is the best that I'm doing. It's not like I'm having bad intentions for them, diba? This is the best that I can do. And they love it, it's enough for them.
Yeah. Okay, so you have 6 children, and you said that you can go on and on and on. But the challenge now for you on this Fast Talk is for you to say one word that describes each kid. So I go, child number 1, adjective, or even a noun would do. And then we go on and on until the 6th. Okay.
So child number 1, Miguel, he's so resourceful.
Number 2.
Number 2, Natalia, my eldest daughter. This is like the kid with confidence.
Number 3.
Ariana is my middle daughter. This one, I'm just gonna say she's so talented.
4.
Nicolo. I can't do one word.
Okay.
He surprises me the most because growing up he was so timid and very. He wore glasses. He was such a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And now he's just trying all kinds of new things and risk taking and adventurous, and unafraid.
So from timid to unafraid.
Yes.
Number 5.
Luigi. This one. Okay. I would also say talented, but I think with Luigi, he is my most intentional child.
Wow, I like
Yes.
that. And the baby? Number
Sabrina.
6.
Oh gosh. Mini-me. Hindi. Sabrina, I'm getting to know a new side of her when she turned 16, and we're at a new phase in our relationship. And I would say that she is so headstrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like that. Mini-me / headstrong. How about for the hubby?
My husband, noun, he's my constant. But adjective, patient.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you are now patient with his clothes on the floor.
Yes.
What do you what do you tend to hoard?
Oh my God, everything. Guys,
Everything?
I'm trying to change the fact that I'm a hoarder. But now I'm so into books.
Okay. That's a good thing not to hoard.
Anything that will give me, because I'm so into reading spiritual books now.
Okay.
So I love books. I love...
What are you reading now na
Oh
spiritual?
my God, madami. Okay, so I have a newfound love for the Bible. I mean,
that's great.
I know, cute pakit ng answer. It's not... I've actually never opened the Bible to read until in the last 2 months.
Have you read it in its entirety?
No.
Do you plan
I
to?
used to have, I have the Bible app, the one that everyone has, the Holy Bible on the phone. And I would do my devotionals there. And I'd be so proud with my streaks. Umabot ako sa, I think, almost 100. Then I broke it one day and I went back down to 1. Now, I read the Bible, and whatever the devotional is from, it tells you it's Luke chapter 3, verse whatever. What I'll do is I'll grab the actual Bible,
and
read
go
that
there.
whole chapter, not just the verse, and I'll highlight. So I've been doing this every day proudly for the last 2 months.
Wow.
So, starting the break, so Christmas break, so end
Good
of
for
December,
you.
Jan, and
Yeah.
then yung Feb. So that's what I say newfound love, because I tell everyone, ang sarap pala magbasa ng Bible. Like, because every spiritual book, I've read so many spiritual books. I mean, name it, I've probably read it, even with
You
Kabbalah.
still find it the best?
A lot of it is
From there.
lesson.
Yeah.
Parang dito pala siya nanggaling.
Lahat.
So I think, again, I always believe kasi everything happens in the right
At
time.
the right time, yeah.
So maybe I was meant to want to read the Bible now because I already have a pre-notion of it without knowing it. So I can understand it more and I can
More.
appreciate it more. It's not boring or it's religious naman ito. There's actually a real craving to want to read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure, my gosh. Honestly, watching shows that don't really require brain cells. Like, do I name them?
I know what you mean.
Di ba, yung
Sometimes we need that din naman.
Yung parang hindi ka na masyado mag-iisip.
Kaya guilty pleasure.
Yeah. So, and if you fall asleep, okay lang. If you wake up, you don't have to like
okay lang.
rewind
Ay,
it.
hindi ka na ganon.
Yes.
Okay. Ugliest time of the day.
Ugliest time of the day. I would say before morning, but since I got my eyebrows microbladed, now I would say we shouldn't find ourselves ugly.
Okay, so none.
Pero if I had to choose, maybe like after a long day when you're hulas-hulas na.
Okay. Most beautiful time of the day naman.
Wow. For me, I think it's after I meditate.
Wow.
And after I have my morning alone time. So
Yes.
I pray, I read the Bible, I study my Kabbalah books, and then I meditate. Yeah.
And for the last one, what's the biggest myth about parenting?
Wow! Ang dami. My God.
Just give us
Hindi
one.
ako ito debunk all. They say parenting is hard, parenting is easy. No, they say that parenting, when you become a parent, you don't have to worry about anything because everything will come to you naturally.
Oh,
Because
that's a nice one.
we're all,
nice
diba, they say we're all mammals. And so, just like a dog or a cat or some animal, when they have a baby, they'll know how to take care of it. That's not true. Because
Not for human beings, at least.
yes, because there's so many facets to
Correct.
parenting.
That's a nice
Although it shouldn't be feared or you shouldn't be scared to become one, I feel like what I've learned about it is that we all have different experiences, and even me, with my 6 kids, my experiences with each one
is
from
unique.
birth to right after birth to the week after they were born to this day, it changes and it's different. And people ask me, Mark, who's your favorite kid? I'll say, another myth, parents don't have favorites. Not true. You will have favorites, but I say this because it depends on the moment in time.
Correct.
If I have a kid who's...
It's like a flavor of the...
Right. That's true. And at some point in my life, I would always say it's this, that, but they assume it's this because I'm always with that kid.
Yeah.
No. For me, let's say, at that point in time, if they were all giving me a hard time except for one kid, yun yung favorite ko.
Yeah, yun ang
or if
favorite
there's a kid
naman.
now who's medyo malambing than the others,
Yes.
or this one child is going through something, so I'm spending more time with them and I'm getting
Correct.
to know them more. So, at one point or another, they've all been my favorites, but I can't say I have a constant favorite.
That's
or there's
right.
one who's the unfavorite. Hindi rin yun totoo.
So what we can say is, yes, you may have favorites
Yes.
in some periods of time, but you love them
Exactly.
equally. Diba?
That's
Wow! Ganda naman ang ating parenting talk.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Please tell our viewers where they can find you. And
Okay.
I am so interested in that Reiki thing, ha?
Okay. So, I'm the editor-in-chief of Modern Parenting. So, we are available on Instagram. So, at Modern Parenting PH. And our website is modernparenting-1mega.com. We're also on YouTube. You can just find Modern Parenting there, and also on Facebook. And my personal Instagram is at Marga M. Tupaz. And on Facebook, I'm Margarita Tupaz.
So, the healing. If they want to be healed, how can they reach you?
Oh my God, my Instagram, it's all there,
Also.
yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm also a certified Reiki healer, Theta healer, pranic healer. I can read Akashic Records. Right now, I'm
A what?
learning Akashic Records. That's when I read your past lives.
Wow.
Your,
Akala ko cash.
narinig niya yung cash. O nga pala, I'm talking to the F.
Cash ang narinig ko.
Pwede din. Gusto ko yan.
No,
Puro cash siya. Okay, so yeah. So I'm a Kabbalah student also. So I'm really embracing, I feel like, as Sari Yap said, like we can close with this. She asked me, what do you think your purpose is in life? When she interviewed me in 2016, I said, to be a mom. Sobrang proud and sure pa. Sabi niya, no. In my head, why? Sabi niya, that's what you are. You are a mom. But why do you think you came to this earth? Yeah, to be a mom. Sabi niya, no, you have a bigger calling. You're here to help people. You're here to help them however way you can, because you are a light worker. Like you know, like the light, right? So you're supposed to help them anyway, and a lot of it is you have to create platforms to be able to reach out and help. So the work I do in Modern Parenting is one avenue I'm so proud of that I have to reach out and help other parents, other people. My 6 kids also, because through my 6 kids, they all have friends, and then they know people. So I'm also touching lives and meeting people that
Yes.
way. And then, yeah, and through finally embracing the fact that I should be a light worker, I took the leap and just got certified in different healing modalities so I can help even more people. So, and I believe that she's right, because I feel it in my bones, in my core, that really is what
Your purpose.
I'm here to do. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you. Galing.